I was loving the countryside. I had family working in the countryside, and we used to, as it was, Evro was a little town, and but it's already to something particular to my family, but of many families, use very often to go on Saturday afternoon or Sunday to in the countryside, because it was not like now. Now it's all full of fences everywhere, fences for cattle, uh, uh, forbidden to enter, to pass that fence, and all. But in that time, though it was very large property, but almost everyone was allowed to go to the countryside.
I am Antonio. I am 43 years old.
I'm Nidia, I'm 28 years old.
It's our van that we buy it about 1 year and a half ago, and we are setting it up to so we can travel.
Yeah, we are rearranging the space in it to be more comfortable, to have this part to sleep on it, and also to set a little table and to be more comfortable in it. We use it to travel, sometimes to carry stuff, or when we are changing houses or something like that.
Here I find some quality in my life, in my way of living. Yeah. And then I stayed here.
I was meeting people from the projects that are here and local organizations. I really enjoyed a lot.
Wir können ja auch ein bisschen so machen.
It's a kind of political defeat that make us, many of us, thousands of us in a lot of countries, to come to nature, to join nature. So it was quite a lot to abandon and give up political a delusion and come to the countryside. People that come now, young people that come to the countryside, I think they choose something which is an issue in something that like a solution to the problem we invented in that time. Bye bye politics, let's go to nature. Now it's quite difficult that someone here, with all he passed through unemployment and difficulties with food, with the house, with this and that he can have with his friends joy enough to maintain searching, joy, and not simply survival. But this is probably a not so big difference, because, as I said, and it's ontology that, they know that is useless, it is useless to search survival, a better survival without choosing this way of joy and of friendship and of love and all that. If not, we won't attain it.
Well, I'm an architect and I work a lot with raw earth materials. They have a really huge sustainable qualities, so our plan is to live in and make it a kind of it's not a manifesto, but it's an opportunity for me to try solutions that I can't try elsewhere. I moved here 1.5 years ago, and why, it's a bit of a long story, but me, my boyfriend and a couple of friends we were living abroad. I was living in Italy for the last 5 years, and we were searching for a place to move in to like turn around the immigration statistics and come back to Portugal. And so we were searching from north to south, speaking with different municipalities about with a kind of a regional development project to see where it could be implemented, our ideas, and which municipality was more open, and that's how we finished in Montemor. We put a lot of manpower in it, but at the same time the cost of the material is almost none because it's earth compressed, which means that you can have a more dynamic relation with the people that is building it instead of putting the money in your materials. So this is one of the big questions. The other one is that it has really a lot of technical properties like thermal inertia, and it breathes like it's a kind of living house. It regulates the humidity inside, it helps to regulate the temperature. This house is abandoned for more or less 20 years. And you can see if you don't treat of your house, it will get back to the earth again.
And you give up with politics, economy, all this, to have a job, to earn the money, to buy things, to have big comfort and big luxury and all that. Many young people now is going back to the countryside in the same way in which we left in that time. You mean they don't want to come to the countryside to be big farmers? They couldn't. Anyway, the land is so expensive and it needs so many investments and all that. They want to come again, like we did 40 years ago, to be able to start building a good life, a life of many difficulties, of many needing frugality, many work, but a life responding to their deepest desires, to something beautiful.